Hello and welcome to Cordy Creativity. My name is Cordy and I've got something super cute for you to draw today, and that is a red panda. I saw one at the zoo the other day and they are just so cute and fluffy. They live up in the trees, so it was kind of hard to see them, so I had to get myself a little stuffed animal friend at the zoo, and here he is. I used him as a reference for my drawing. I think he's very adorable. And to make him really hang out in my sketchbook, we're going to have to distort the drawing that I made. We have to elongate it a little bit and bring down the edges so we get this optical illusion. So let's get started. We're going to start with the big branch, so we're gonna have to make it a little wider and thicker than it usually would be, and the branches need to be sort of stretched a bit downward and upward. Now we're going to draw the head, and I'm going to go for a really rough sketch, really rough outlines first. I'm going to stretch that top of the head upward and the ears as well, as good as we can. We'll see how it works in the end. I'm going to only do lines for now, and the texture will leave for later. I'm going to squish it together a little more elongated. And then the body as well. Down the leg, comes across the branch, just really rough, drawing in where the limbs go, and his paws, they're also stretched down a bit longer than they usually would be, and the little belly and his fluffy tail. That is one of the cutest bits of the red panda, the beautiful fluffy tail. Now let's give the branch a little bit of texture, adding some extra lines there, making the edges a little bit more uneven. That's because that's how branches grow, they're not straight lines. And I'm going to add a couple of leaves. Also, always bearing in mind they need to be sort of stretched upward. And now to the cute little face. The panda has a little mouth, and then the nose comes on top. It's sort of two triangular shapes, I would say, one facing up and the other one down. And then the eyes, they're almond shaped. And very characteristic for the panda is the marking of the fur. So I'm just drawing in the white bits and inside the ear. This bit's going to be black on the body and then around here as well. So coming in with the fine liner now, I am going to create some texture. I'm going to fluff out the edges, just doing squiggly lines to show that it's a fluffy animal. And I'm using a sort of mid-value fine liner 0.3 for all the edges around. And then later on I'll use a thinner one for the edges on the inside of the animal, and a thicker one then just really only for the outline, but I'll show you in a bit. Now bear in mind it looks a little bit stretched to the top. That is what we need for our optical illusion. I am keep going around the entire animal with those little squiggly lines on the belly, just making sure that the lines, the squiggles, are a bit rougher and bigger when it comes to the fluffy tail, because it's a bit more fluffy than the fur on the body. And also the fur around the paws is not as fluffy or long, so I'll make that only in a very small squiggly line. The eyes, beautiful almond shaped eyes, and the nose. It starts to look like a red panda. I'm adding just little dots for reflection that I keep white in the end. Now this is the thinner fine liner for the inner edges where the fur changes color, and gonna add some stripes here on the tail. That is just one of the cutest bits here. And then make sure between the eyes you just have some hair sticking up. That looks extra cute. And then the white markings. And inside the ear, that bit is sort of grayish, and there's also fine little hairs sticking up. Now for the outline, I'm going to use a 0.8 fine liner, and I'm going around it and I'm trying to catch all of the little lines that I did with the 0.3, but obviously, you know, there's going to be a little bit of a sort of an offset, and I find that's kind of neat because it gives the fur another layer of texture. So don't worry if you go around and you catch all the lines that you made with the 0.3 fine liner. That is intended, at least in my sketchbook. So here we go, let's go all around. And you can see it already, it just pops a little bit if we give a little bit more focus on the outlines there. He is just so cute and hanging there. Let's hope we get the optical illusion happening and he will look like he's literally hanging out inside the sketchbook. It's going to be a great memory for my visit to the zoo and meeting that little guy. Just so adorable. Let's color in the eyes and the nose in black, and I'm leaving out a little bit of white just for the reflection there. Now let's get rid of the pencil lines, and then I'm going to add another little details, little dots around his nose and the whiskers. Here we go, just a couple of them sticking out. Very cute. So to make the illusion happen, we're going to add a little shadow. I'm using a very soft charcoal, piece of charcoal here, because the softer and the more blended the shadow is, the more realistic it looks. Let's hope we can get it to work. I'm just going to give the shadow a little bit of a rub so it blends into the page, and just going along the branch there, just sort of indicating where the branch would create the shadow. And then the little body of our cute little red panda. Okay, let's see if we got it right. Let's slowly move the camera. If you look at the head, it becomes a bit more round. And yeah, it kind of looks like it's hanging out inside the book, sort of popping off the page a little bit. To enhance this effect, you can cut the top bit of the paper here, as you see right there. So the ear sticks up and is on the black bit of my sketchbook. That will enhance the effect even more of it being literally there in 3D. Now I have to admit, we could have squished the head a little more, then it would pop a little more like this one. I used watercolor with mine. You can use any color you want in yours. I always try to use colored pencil, but it never looks right. So if you are a colored pencil specialist, then please do show me your little red panda. I would love to see it. Pop on over to Instagram and tag me at Cordy Creativity. I would love to see all of your work. I hope you had fun and enjoyed trying out this little optical illusion and enjoyed my little red panda. Hop on over to my channel to subscribe, and don't forget to like the video. I hope I see you soon for some more drawing. Have a great day. Bye-bye.